Okay, so welcome, Lorna. I'm really happy to be kind of interviewing you, although it's just really a nice chit chat that we have with our master spiritual life coaches who've graduated, completed the course. And it's always good to get some real insight from how you experience the course, what changes it's made in your life, in your business, and also who you are, what you offer, and who you're here to share all of this amazing stuff with. So you embarked on our how long did it take you to complete the course? It wasn't that long. You
It
did
was,
it.
yeah, I was a bit of a, once I was there, I was like, right.
Yeah, you really were.
So just under 6 months. Yeah.
Just under 6 months. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
You might be our quickest.
It wasn't like the goal, but I was quite fortunate, I guess, that I had the being self-employed, I had the time and the capacity to be able to do it. And I just wanted to get that momentum going. I wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly. So
Really?
yeah.
Did you enjoy the pace that you were working? Did it feel hard or
It was that when I got into it, then I hit a bit of a roadblock, and then certainly, definitely, that started to feel a bit of, oh, am I on my own here? And everyone seems to be doing amazingly. And then as soon as connect with other students, uh, it pulled me along. I just wanted to keep reading and studying, and just wanted to complete it, wanted to start working with it and using it more. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, you've done really well. So let's just go back a bit. So
Hmm.
for people listening, you were already kind of in this field. So just tell people what your background was.
Yeah, so I've been a therapist since 2001, so scarily nearly 25
I
years.
know.
Don't quite know. I know I don't listen.
No, you don't. I do, sat here with waiting for my roots to be done. My God.
Yeah, so but very much started off working on physical therapy, but my therapy journey is kind of paralleled my personal journey. So
Mm.
quite early doors was starting to, I've always been curious, and just intuitively with my hands-on clients had that kind of awareness of a lot more going on. The physical didn't match up. And and I was doing a lot more reading about that whole mind body connection, and just loving understanding and learning that and using that for myself. So I ended up training in lots of different therapies, like craniosacral therapy that works whole person, mind, body, soul. And again, as with anything, a bit like with your courses, you do a lot of the work on yourself at the same time. So that became more and more of a priority of wanting to work in that more holistic way and help people understand the knowledge that's already within, and the messages the body's sometimes trying to give us by what might seem like purely physical ailments. Not to say the pain isn't real, but sometimes it's a message to something else going on underneath that needs looking at. So
100%.
um, yeah, so it's been a
Yeah.
ever evolving journey, but
Yeah, I hear you with that, and that was my passion. It was the natural medicine. It was the body. Why is the body acting this way when you're talking about that
mm,
emotional issue? It's so fascinating how the brain and the body work together. So, did you feel like you wanted to add in this other element? What was your reason for embarking on the course, really?
it was funny. I kind of hit a stalemate. So we always had this vision to move. So, I mean, I lived in a village, but still in the southeast, so didn't take very long before you're kind of hitting city again. And always wanted to move somewhere more countryside, but felt very stuck, very trapped, because both myself and my wife, both self-employed, both therapists, both hands-on therapists, and like a lot of people through kind of the lockdown period, realised actually we could do the move sooner if we did it differently. So 3 years ago, up sticks, closed the doors on 20 years of practice, and moved down to Somerset, and found the perfect place, more than we thought we'd be able to get. And so you kind of think, this is it, we're living the dream, we're taking the steps towards where we want to be. And then it was this really odd moment of so I could do anything now. You know, and you end up with that blank piece of paper. And it
Oh,
was lovely to be able to drop some of those, like I say, I started in sports massage rehab, and to be able to finally kind of close the door to that and embrace more of the whole person side of things. And also to start working more over Zoom. I work with a process called Psyche, which we can do over Zoom with people. Um, but throughout my therapy career, the next step was always obvious. I had a query, I had a question, something showed up like cranial, and I knew that was it. That was the next bit to help me become more complete as a therapist. And I kind of hit this point of, what is it I'm wanting to do now? Who do I want to be? And I was really enjoying the online work and using the Psyche and helping unravel the changes at that real core, at that subconscious level. But feeling that there was still something a bit missing alongside doing that, because Psyche process, for those that don't know, is you kind of, right, what's going on for you right now that you're sick of, you're fed up of saying, here I am again. What do you want instead? And then we talk directly with the subconscious to find out what changes and what new beliefs we need to install to help what you want to be possible, and break through those barriers. But that was often the hardest question for people. What do you want instead?
yeah.
And so to be able to have tools that I could help people with that. And as I look back now, I think that's also what I was going through that led me to coaching. Is this is all I've known for my whole career. I've been a self-employed hands-on therapist.
Mm.
What does life look like? Who am I now? What do I want instead? But then also to help people, I guess, through that more the transition process into, okay, if we've installed some new beliefs, how do you now work with those? Keep that momentum going and work with anything else that kind of comes up along the way. But the heart of it is always about, how can I empower people more, and being a lot more led to wanting to be another voice that people can come across, that they're starting to question, starting to know they're wanting to look in a different direction but don't really know where to go, starting to see that actually that whole mind body, like you say, coming across the whole mind body soul element of things and that energetic self. So to be able to teach them ways that they can go within and help guide them and help reflect sometimes back things that they don't realize they're saying or doing, or the beliefs that they have that just so habitual they just come out without realizing it. So
That's so powerful to repeat back what the client is actually telling themselves so they actually hear it. It's like, wow, that in itself can make a massive shift for somebody. And it's really interesting because I get everything you're saying about one of the hardest things is people actually knowing what they really truly want. There's a
mm,
lot of, belief systems around that, or people not being able to receive and, that kind of thing. And then actually, how do you like move forward with
mm,
a new belief? How do you actually embody it? And it's all right saying it in the moment, but it's then having those daily habitual practices that make that a reality now. So it's twofold, isn't it? It's helping somebody really understand the core of what it is that they really want, really
mm.
authentically, and then helping them put in the daily practices that must happen for that to then become their new habitual way of being.
Sometimes helping them notice the changes that actually have happened.
Yeah,
Often, as I'm sure you know, things happen on that subtler background. So
yeah,
they don't always notice, they're not always the first person to notice that they're starting to react
change.
differently or talk
Yeah,
differently, depending also their family home life circumstances. If they've got someone to kind of go, oh, you don't normally do that, or you're being more proactive than you used to be. So I think it's helping them notice the change sometimes as well, because that's also where, oh god, actually no, things are moving, things are shifting, and that reignites the motivation to keep going as well, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's a really important point. it's helping people, like you say, just stop a minute and look back and just notice the changes. They can be small, subtle changes, but they have the long lasting impact. I think
Mm.
that's really, really key as well. How do you think then training to be, a master spiritual life coach and energy psychologist will help your practice as a Psych K practitioner?
It's funny because I'm working with a client at the moment, and it's the first one where I'm really blending the two. And during my training, I did a little bit with somebody where we did, right, let's do a psyche, and then let me do my practice of coaching. And it blends really nicely. Again, it's that more complete journey for them. So with the spiritual coaching, the energy psychology, it's that helps them really go within and regain that relationship with their internal selves, with that innate inner wisdom, that knowledge, the kind of peel back the layers to rediscover who they are at the core. But the psyche can really speed up the shifts in
Mm.
terms of, as things come up, we can kind of go, okay, you've said that a few times, and it's the layers, isn't it? Again, so being able to, as we unravel perhaps different belief systems you haven't realized was there, it's like, okay, well, let's just shift that now, and
Mm.
then we've got the momentum to move forward. So it's that clearing as we go, um,
Yeah.
and and that sustainability. To,
Yeah, and you now have the depth of knowledge as well around obviously the beliefs, the inner scripts, all the techniques that you've learned through Soul Awakening Academy. That's like an added layer that you can bring in.
I mean, the because say I've been doing a lot of personal self-development and growth for over 20 years, but the new knowledge and awareness I've had with some of the tools and techniques, like the set process, like you say, sub-personalities, just myself doing the journey, it's been fascinating. And seeing that with clients as well, those we're working with training, it's just
Mhm.
that, oh my goodness, I hadn't. And people from different backgrounds and awareness of their own kind of level of spirituality, you get some people like, oh, I'm not really sure that it's really for me, and then they're like, oh my god, just to be able to see where I am amongst the different behaviors that I end up taking on board.
Exactly, the
Um,
true self, yeah, the most authentic self, the most deconditioned self
yeah.
to reveal the soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's such a lovely journey to take people, and such an amazing journey to go on yourself. So what impact has it had, do you think, on you personally?
It's definitely helped me. um, it's almost been like the completion of doing the move and
Yeah.
everything else.
Mhm.
It's felt that, okay, I'm back in my groove now, I'm back in the flow, I know what it is I want to do, and have that confidence to step out with that authentic voice and go, actually, do you know what? This is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is the knowledge that I've got. And it is important that I share that. So it's definitely helped me own me more. Um, and again, just another layer, another level of that self-awareness, that noticing my thoughts and behaviors more, and acknowledging the good stuff as well, acknowledging the bits where you go, actually, this is lighting me up, this is where I need to be going, versus this feels a bit like a chore.
Yeah, following your passion. Yeah, yeah, I
Mm.
love that. Being brave enough to do it and know that you've always got your own back. It's
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah.
it's been a really thought-provoking journey, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad to hear it. And so people listening to this and thinking, oh my God, she sounds amazing. I want to have a session with her. Where can people find you?
So our kind of business name is It's All About Health. So it's allabout.health.co.uk. That's the easiest thing. Type that into Instagram, Facebook. I am on
Amazing.
LinkedIn as well as my name, Lorna Kennard Wall.
Yeah.
So
Brill, and we'll share your links with me, and I'll share this on in the description in the video.
Cool.
What would be your final words to somebody who's thinking about taking the course, but it's a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me?
I'd say it's two things. If you're in a bit of doubt and not sure, pause, go in,
Yeah.
sit with it. How does it feel? I know before I was umming and ahhing, and we hopped on a call together, and that was really helpful just to connect with you as a person and understand more what it was about. But I certainly have no regrets. And yeah, if it feels like the right thing, go for it. It's such a good supportive community. There's so
Yeah.
much information there, and I'm still on my journey. I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still
Not the
still
end.
studying. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you've got your other course as well, that's for the trauma stuff. Um, what would you say to people that so yeah, it's not for everybody because I genuinely say to people, you have to think about this is for you first and foremost, and then you walk the walk, then you can talk the talk with clients. So other coaching programs maybe just be like, right, you know, it's more coaching. It's not
Mhm.
really about your layers and peeling them back personally. And I would say you have to be prepared that this is a journey that you will go down and it's going to potentially bring up some stuff for you. Would you say you had that experience too?
Yeah, and to be honest, for me, that's why I chose this course above others. I'd not come across spiritual coaching, didn't know it existed, but I knew something that um, had that level of depth of that internal work, worked on the energetic side of us, that whole mind body link. Um, and that was the benefit of, even though it's home learning, got the most as soon as I made those connections with the other students and just sharing experiences together and working through the processes together.
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, a lot of um, internal reflection and self-thought, but knowing that although it's a online course, you're not on your own. If you put in and interact, then you've got that kind of classmates
I love that.
out
I
there
love
with you.
seeing that because people do genuinely, because I've been doing this for a while now, and I see people making lifelong friendships. And
Hmm.
it's just gorgeous because I can see what's happening on Facebook and I can see, you know, and I can see that. And it's lovely because, like you say, you think, oh God, online self study, what does that mean? Is it going to be difficult and we're going to feel alone? But like you say, if you are proactive and you reach out in the group, you've got a host of gorgeous people just wanting to be with you because they're on the same journey. And practice is the key, isn't it?
Yeah, and you like with that, you then suddenly realize actually everyone's got the same fears, everyone's
I
got the same
know.
fears. You've projected that, oh my God, everyone's doing this so much better than me, and then you have a chat with them and you're like, no, okay, let's
We're all the same.
do this
Everybody is
together.
like, everybody feels the same. And I hear it all the time. And I'm like, just please, just trust yourself. You've got this. Everybody feels the same. It's like learning to drive. You haven't got a clue, you know, when you first start. But if you keep practicing it,
Yeah.
you get there in the end. And that's exactly what you've done. So you've done your first big achievement, which is achieve the Master Spiritual Life Coaching Energy Psychology certification. It's accredited at level 7, really highly sought after accreditation. And then you've got access to our dual course, which is the trauma informed spiritual facilitator work. So that again is going to give you more tools to be
Mm.
able to, even if you wanted to, run retreats and groups and healing circles just with the ready-made workbook. So you've got more great stuff to come when you're ready for it.
Yeah, I've jumped back in straight into some of the, started the trauma bit
Good,
already. Yeah.
good,
Just
good.
aware that very much it can be easy for me sometimes. I think it's like, right, I've completed that, but it's nice to have those other things just to help force me to stay connected in that group, but to keep that learning going. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so much to, you can always pick out bits, even if you're reading stuff
that's the thing.
done before. You will
Pick out bits
right and
that
just
you might have a client that presents something, you think, okay, well, there's a bit of information there. I can go and read on the window of tolerance or something like that, the vagus nerve. But tr- being trauma informed is such an emerging field in coaching that I felt like people need to know, coaches need to know this. It's really important. So
yeah.
yeah, so and people stay with the academy forever. So you're never cast out. You know, you come back as often as you like, you ask me questions as often as you like. You know, it's not like you've done a course now, bye bye, doors are shut.
Mm.
I'm always available for students. You know, if you have a client you're not sure, you come, and I always be the mentor for you to help you succeed. So well done, big achievement, girl.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
You're kind of like, oh gosh, how did that happen?
I'm really proud of you. Well done.
Thank you. No, it's been brilliant, and yeah,
Oh,
looking forward to where it takes me, and yeah, more
yeah,
learning I can do.
good stuff. All right, my love. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love.
Yep, and to you. Bye for
Bye,
now.
Lorna. Bye.